Hare Krishna, you're warm welcome to the Sunday feast. Today we are reading from Bhagavad-Gita as it is, and the verse for the 10th chapter will be on the board left of me. So let us recite all together. Please repeat after me. Vistarenatmano yogam.
Vistarenatmano yogam.
Vistarenatmano yogam.
Vistarenatmano yogam.
Vibhuti cha janardana.
Vibhutim cha Janardana,
Vibhutim cha Janardana,
Vibhutim cha Janardana,
Bhuyah kathaya triptim hi,
Bhuyah kathaya triptirhi,
Bhuyah kathaya triptirhi,
Bhuyah kathaya triptirhi,
Srimatav nasti memritam,
Shrivato nasti memritam,
Srimatav nasti memritam,
Shrivato nasti memritam,
Vistaranatmano yogam,
Vistaranatmano yogam,
Vibhutim cha Janardana,
Vibhutim cha Janardana,
Bhuyah kathaya triptirhi,
Bhuyah kathaya triptirhi,
Srimatav nasti memritam,
Shrivato nasti memritam,
Vistarenatmano yogam
Vistaranatmano yogam,
Vibhutim cha Janardana
Vibhutim cha Janardana,
Bhuya kathaya triptim hi
Bhuyah kathaya triptirhi,
Srinvato nasti memritam
Shrivato nasti memritam,
Vistarenatmano yogam,
Vistaranatmano yogam,
Vibhutim cha Janardana,
Vibhutim cha Janardana,
Bhuyakathaya triptirhi,
Bhuyah kathaya triptirhi,
Srinvato nasti memritam,
Shrivato nasti memritam,
Please.
Vistaranatmano yogam,
Vistaranatmano yogam,
Vibhutim cha Janardana,
Vibhutim cha Janardana,
Bhuyah kathaya triptirhi,
Bhuyah kathaya triptirhi,
Shrinivato nasti memritam,
Shrivato nasti memritam,
Vistaranatmano yogam,
Vistaranatmano yogam,
Vibhutim cha Janardana,
Vibhutim cha Janardana,
Bhuyah kathaya triptirhi,
Bhuyah kathaya triptirhi,
Shrinivato nasti memritam,
Shrivato nasti memritam.
Thank you so much. Verbal translation and purport, which was compiled by His Divine Grace Abhay Charanaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. So please repeat after me. Vistarayana,
Vistarayana,
in detail.
in detail,
Atmanaha,
Atmanaha,
your
Yogam,
yogam, mystic power,
mystic power,
vibhuti,
Vibhutim,
opulences,
opulences,
cha,
Cha,
also,
also,
jana ardana,
Janardana,
or killer of the atheists,
killer of atheists,
bhuyaha,
Bhuyah,
again,
again,
kathaya,
Kathaya,
describe, triptihi,
Triptihi,
satisfaction,
satisfaction,
he, certainly,
certainly,
srimvata,
Shravata,
hearing,
hearing,
now, naasti,
Nasti,
there is not,
there is not,
me,
me,
mine, amrita,
Amrita,
nectar.
nectar.
Translation. O Janardana, again, please describe in detail the mystic power of your opulences. I'm never saturated in hearing about you, for the more I hear, the more I want to taste the nectar of your words. Purport. A similar statement was made to Suta Goswami by the rishis of Naimisharanya, headed by Shona. That statement is Vayam tu na vitripyama tamashvakrame yashrin matam rasa jnanam swada swada pade pade. One can never be saturated even though one continuously hears the transcendental pastimes of Krishna, who is glorified by excellent prayers. Those who have entered in a transcendental relationship with Krishna relish at every step the descriptions of the pastimes of the Lord. Srimad Bhagavatam 1:19. Thus, Arjuna is interested in hearing about Krishna, and specifically how he remains as the all-pervading Supreme Lord. Now, as far as Amrita, nectar, is concerned, any narration or statement concerning Krishna is just like nectar. And this nectar can be perceived by practical experience. Modern stories, fiction, and histories are different from the transcendental pastimes of the Lord, in that one will tire of hearing mundane stories, but one never tires of hearing about Krishna. It is for this reason only that the history of the whole universe is replete with references to the pastimes of the incarnations of Godhead. The Puranas are histories of bygone age that relate to pastimes of the various incarnations of the Lord. In this way, the living matter remains forever fresh, despite repeated readings. First again. Vistaranatmana yagam vibhutim cha janardana muyakataya triptirhit srimatanas memritam. In translation again. O Janardana, again please describe in detail the mystic power of your opulences. I'm never saturated in hearing about you, for the more I hear, the more I want to taste the nectar of your words. Now we recite the prayers to get the blessings of previous acharyas and the Supreme Lord. Om Ajnana Tirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavam Sham Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatam Vitantam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parichana Savitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Hare Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurange Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Pranamani Hari Priye Vancha Kalpa Tarupyascha Kripa Sindhu Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Today's topics will be impersonal realization of the Absolute of Krishna. And we're going to read from different chapters of Bhagavad-Gita. There'll be 4 verses of chapter 7, 4 verses of chapter 9, and so verses of chapter 15 and 11. We'll go almost completely to chapter 10, just translations, to study the vibhutis or the opulences of the Lord. There's 3 realizations of the Supreme Absolute Truth. And first realization is impersonal realization, which is most easiest one. First time when devotees come to the temple, guests come here, or friends, whoever comes, we tell them, you're not this body, you're spirit, soul, eternal fragmental part of the Lord. Good. Srila Prabhupada, who brought this Krishna consciousness into the West, there's few quotations I'm going to recite from him. Brahman realization. Brahman means impersonal realization of the Supreme Lord. First step means that I'm spirit, soul, and the Lord is the Supreme Spirit. Nitya Nikanam Chatanam Chatanam. Katha Upanishad 2.13. He is the Supreme Spirit, chief living entity, and we are innumerable without any number. Ashanti. The living entities are innumerable. These are stated in Vedic literature. The very word is used Asankhya. Asankhya means without any numerical estimation. And God is one. God is one, but the living entities are many. Nitya Nityanam Chaitana Chaitanam. So Ekabahunam Yadhati Kanam. That one is the supreme one who is supplying all the necessities of living entities. There's a few more quotations about Brahman realization. Brahman realization means eternity realization. Paramatma realization means eternity and knowledge. And Bhagavan realization means eternity, knowledge, and blissfulness. So this Paramatma means the Supreme Lord is in everyone's heart and everyone and every atom related. And Bhagavan means the Supreme Lord, means Krishna, the source of everything. Satchitananda. Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchitananda Vigraha. Brahma Samhita 5.1. If you realize Krishna, then you realize simultaneously. Kasmin tu Bhagava to Bhagavo Vikyate Sarvam Vitam Viknatam Bhavati. You realize Brahman, you realize Paramatma, and you realize Bhagavan. So Srila explains that just by realizing the Supreme Lord, you realize all the aspects, different features of the Supreme. It's all in one. It's one package. Brahman realization means Krishna's partial realization. Krishna says in the Bhagavad-Gita, Brahmano ham pratishtha. The Brahmans are all providing Brahman. The personal Brahman is situated in me. So next I'm going to read a few vibhutis. Actually, I gathered all the vibhutis means opulences of the Lord. And Krishna himself, he teaches to Arjuna how to see him in this world, in our day-to-day life, how to realize Krishna pervading everywhere. For us, it's the first step of realization of the Supreme, so we can always be conscious of Krishna, always remember him, think of him, like that. So it's from chapter 7, verses 8 to 11. O son of Kunti, I am the taste of water, the light of the sun and the moon, the suitable Om in the Vedic mantras. I am the sound in ether and ability in man. Text number 9. I am the original fragrance of the earth, and I am the heat and fire. I am the life of all that lives, and I am the penances of all ascetics. Text number 10. O son of Pritha, know that I am the original seat of all existences, the intelligence of the intelligent, and the prowess of all powerful men. And in text 11, Krishna says, I am the strength of the strong, devoid of passion and desire. I am a sex life which is not contrary to religious principles, allowed to the paradise Arjuna. So Krishna, first time in the seventh chapter, he just gives some glimpses how he pervades everywhere and how we can realize him. And he goes more in chapter 9, text number 16 to 19. So text number 16. But it is I who am the ritual. I am the sacrifice, the offering to the ancestors, the healing herb, the transcendental chant. I am the butter and the fire and the offering. Isn't it interesting? You ever been in a fire sacrifice, yagya? Many of you are from India. You ever saw that? So imagine the whole thing is Krishna. The offering, the sacrifice, the ritual, the healing herb, and he's this transcendental chant, like we chant in Hare Krishna, in Krishna temples all around, and Krishna himself personally present. Text number 17. I am the father of this universe, the mother, the support, and the grandsire. I am the object of knowledge, the purifier, and the suitable owner. I am also the Rig, the Sama, and the natural Vedas. Text number 19. I am the goal, the sustainer, the master, the witness, the abode, the refuge, and the most dear friend. I am the creation and the annihilation, the basis of everything, the resting place, and eternal seed. So any one of you ever been in school? Is any person been in school? Or is it only me? I think everybody in school. In Finland, it's 100% also literally right. Everybody can read. Literacy rate. So everybody can read means everybody went to school. So what we study in school, we study knowledge, and this knowledge, all type of knowledge comes from Krishna, but especially spiritual knowledge is directly connected to Him. That's why we come to temple, so we can through the knowledge we can connect to Krishna to study about Him. In text number 19, Krishna says, "O Arjuna, I give heat and without and withhold and send forth the rain. I am immortality and I'm also death personified. Both spirit and matter are in me." Isn't it profound? He said that spirit and matter is inside the Krishna. So whatever we see, we're dealing all the time with the energies of the Lord. And that's how we realize the Lord took his energies first by dealing with this world, but understanding to whom it belongs. He says, I'm the father and the mother. So all the good things, as well as all the unpleasant things, bad things also coming from the Lord. So all the time we're dealing with the Lord. And he's also immortality and he's also death personified. And it's supposed to be summer in Finland, but we all like these devices. Like now, our heating system doesn't work in the temple, so this our friend was serving today us by providing heat, and this heat comes from Krishna. Let's go to chapter 15. It's verses 12 to 15. Text 12.
Which chapter?
Chapter 15.
12 to 15.
15.
And verse
12 to 15.
12.
So text 12 of chapter 15. The splendor of the sun, which dissipates the darkness of this whole world, comes from me. And the splendor of the moon and the splendor of fire are also from me. So wherever we see the sun, or wherever we see the fire, we can think of the Lord. Because this power, this vibhuti, this shakti, comes from him. Text number 13. I enter into each planet, and by my energy, they stay in orbit. So we saw these pictures of universe and these planets flowing in the sky. This Krishna who actually hold them up. I become the moon and thereby supplies the juice of life to all vegetables. It's also interesting. Krishna says he's the moon. Text 14. I am the fire of digestion in the bodies of all living entities. And I join this air of life, outgoing and coming, to digest the four kinds of foodstuff. Who likes to eat? Or is it only me? Oh, everybody. Oh, not coconut. Of course you like to eat. We know that. You're just fasting.
That's how it speaks.
Yeah, especially from sweets. Yeah, no sweets for coconut. Prabhu. Yeah, like imagine that if fire digestion doesn't work, what do you do? You will die, all of us, because we don't have energy, you don't get energy. After 1 week, 2 weeks, at most 3 to 4 weeks, it's that. That's it. It's the end. So every day we experience the magic. We put some food stuff inside of our stomach, and somehow or other, by a powerful process of digestion, we get energy. And we become healthy and happy. And especially we're happy by eating prasadam. So we will have it soon. Just stay tuned. And text number 15. I'm seated in everyone's heart, and from me come remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. By all the Vedas, I'm to be known. Indeed, I'm the compiler of Vedanta, and I'm the knower of the Vedas. I'm going to recite that beautiful verse said by Krishna. Sarvasya chaham hridisam nivishto mataksti jnanam ohanam cha vidashcha sarve aham eva vidyo vedanta krit eva vidya chaham. Which is one of the most important verses of whole Bhagavad-Gita. And he explains, I'm in everyone's heart. And do anybody experience forgetfulness? At least me experience every day. I don't remember what was 2 days ago or 3 days ago. Who can remember what was 1 month ago? Anybody? Oh, you have a sharp memory. What you did 1 month ago, same time?
Now I don't know.
You see? Yeah, but sometimes we remember, you know. Sometimes we remember, many times we remember, many times we forget. So he said, forgetfulness, remembrance, and knowledge comes from me. And the goal of Vedas, the goal of the whole scriptures, the goal of what we are doing is actually to know Krishna. And let's go to chapter 10, which is especially dedicated to the deep knowledge, deep study of Vibhutis, opulences of the Lord, so we can see Him every day in our day-to-day life to realize Him. So chapter 10 starts, text number 1. The Supreme Personality of God has said, listen again, Amartya Arjuna, because you are my dear friend, for your benefit I shall speak to you further, give you knowledge that is better than what I have already explained. And the text is 4 to 5. He says, intelligence, knowledge, freedom from doubt and delusion, forgiveness, truthfulness, control of the senses, control of the mind, happiness and distress, birth, death, fear, fearlessness, non-violence, equanimity, satisfaction, austerity, charity, fame, and infamy. All these various qualities of living beings are created by me alone. He continues in text 6 and 7. The 7 great sages, and before them the 4 other great sages and the Manus, progenitors of mankind, come from me. Born from my mind, and all the living beings populating the various planets descend from them. In the 7th text it says, one who is factually convinced of this opulences and mystic power of mind engages in unalloyed devotion service. Of this there is no doubt. But the whole purpose of today's class is that all of us will be engaged in devotion service. That's the purpose of studying, isn't it? You go to school, you study, what to do after that? You apply your knowledge in practice. So same here, this is educational institution called temple. So the purpose here we study to apply this knowledge in our lives. Otherwise we're wasting time. So nobody wants to waste time. So please listen to Krishna describing his Buddhist opulences. So we're going to read from text 16 to text 42. There are many verses about Krishna. And it starts with questions of Arjuna, how he came to conclusion. So text number 16, same chapter, yes. So in text number 16, please tell me in detail of your divine opulences by which you pervade all these worlds. This Arjuna is speaking to Krishna, his best friend, by the way. Text number 17. O Krishna, O Supreme Mystic, how shall I constantly think of you? And how shall I know you? In what various forms are you to be remembered, O Supreme Personality of Godhead? And he says to him, O Janardana, again, please describe in detail the mystic power of your opulences. I'm never saturated in hearing about you, for the more I hear, the more I want to taste the nectar of your words. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, yes, I will tell you of my splendorous manifestations, but only of those which are prominent, O Arjuna, for my opulence is limitless. I think Krishna starts the description of his opulences. So text 20. I am the super soul, O Arjuna, seated in the hearts of all living entities. I am the beginning, the middle, and the end of all beings. Text 21. Of the Adityas I am Vishnu, of lights I am the radiant sun, of the Maruts I am Marichi, and among the stars I am the moon. Again, Krishna repeats the same. He's not only the sunshine, but he's also the sun himself. And is not only moon comes from him, but he says, I actually am the moon. Of all the stars, moon represents Krishna. So whenever you see the sun or the moon, you can remember the Lord. Text 22. Of the Vedas I am the son of Veda. Of the demigods I am Indra, the king of heaven. Of the senses I am the mind, and in living beings I am the living force, consciousness. Is anybody have troubles with the mind? Yeah, I think some people, some already self-realized, self-controlled. Yeah, it's Krishna is the mind, he says. And he also gives the Gita. That's why you should study Gita, because he gives us methods how to control the mind and control the senses. Text 23. Of the Rudras, I am Lord Shiva. Of the Yakshas and Rakshasas. Rakshasas means Rakshasas, especially demons. And Yakshas is mystical beings. I am the Lord of wells Kubera. Of the Vasus, I am fire Agni, and of mountains I am Meru. 24. Of priests or Arjuna, know me to be the chief, Brihaspati. Of generals, I am Kartikeya, and of bodies of water, I am the ocean. Who been on the ocean? Any people? You saw the ocean? Please, I saw the ocean. And I know people from India. You ever swim in the ocean? Anybody? I was swimming, super dangerous, and then you like appreciate more that it's not in our powers to control it. It's not like swimming in Finnish lake. It's different. Of the great sages, I'm Brigu. Of vibration, I'm the transcendental Om. Of sacrifices, I'm the chanting of the holy name, Japa. And of immovable things, I'm the Himalayas. Of all trees, I'm the banyan tree. And of the sages amongst the demigods, I'm Narada. Of the Gandharvas, I'm Chitrartha. And among perfect beings, I'm the sage Kapila. Of horses know me to be Uchaistrava, produced during the controlling of the ocean of nectar. Of the elephants, I'm Airavata, and amongst the men, I'm the monarch. This is interesting, I'm the monarch, he's also president, so government actually represents Krishna, and the chief of government, president or monarch, he's a representative of God. Should be, ideally, not always happens, but Krishna says that this power comes from him. Of weapons, I am the thunderbolt. Among cows, I am the surabhi. Of causes of procreation, I am Kandharva, the god of love, and of serpents, I am Vasuki. Of the many-hooded nagas, I am Ananta, and amongst aquatics, I am the demigod Varuna. Of the parched ancestors, I am Aryama, and amongst the dispensers of law, I am Yama, the lord of death. And text number 30. Among the titled demons, I am the devoted Prabhupada. Among subduers, I am time. Among beasts, I am the lion, and among birds, I am Garuda. It's also interesting. Krishna says, I am time. So anytime you see the watch, or you see the numbers on the screen, you can remember the Lord saying, oh, another minute passed, another minute passed, another minute passed, another hour, another day. So it's all, this power of time comes from Krishna. Of purifiers, I am the wind. Of the builders of weapons, I am Rama. Of fishes, I am the shark. And of flowing rivers, I am the Ganges. Of all creations, I am the beginning and the end, and also the middle, O Arjuna. Of all sciences, I am the spiritual science of the self. And among logicians, I am the conclusive truth. So there is some verbal fight going on. So conclusive truth, which is ultimate conclusion, will be Krishna. Of letters, I am the letter A, and among compound words, I am a dual compound. I am also inexhaustible of time. Again, he repeats it at least time. And of creators, I am Brahma. I am all devouring death, and I am the generating principle of all that is yet to be. Among women, I am fame, fortune, fine speech, memory, intelligence, steadfastness, and patience. Of the hymns, in the Samaveda, I am the Brihat Sama, and of poetry, I am Gayatri. Of months, I am Magar Shirsha, November, December, and of seasons, I am flowering berry spring. So the springtime is yet to come in Finland, at least some warmness. We are hoping so, so it's Krishna. So now we can experience that just by going outside. You can see all the beautiful flowers and birds singing. It's all coming from the Lord. I am also the gambling of cheats, and all the splendid, I am the splendor. I am victory, I am adventure, and I am the strength of the strong. Of the descendant of Krishna, I am Vasudeva, and of the Pandavas, I am Arjuna. Of the sages, I am Vyasa, and among the great thinkers, I am Ushama. So we are about to conclude. There's a few more verses, and then we have time for discussion. Text 38. Among all means of suppressive lowliness, I am punishment, and of those who seek victory, I am morality. Of secret things, I am silence, and of wise, I am the wisdom. Furthermore, Arjuna, I am the generating seed of all existence. There is no being, moving or not moving, that can exist without me. A mighty conqueror of enemies, there is no end to my divine manifestations. What I have spoken to you is but a mere indication of my infinite opulences. Text 41. Know that all opulent, beautiful, and glorious creations spring from but a spark of my splendor. But what need is there, Arjuna, for all this detailed knowledge? With a single fragment of myself, I prevent and support this entire universe. So to conclude, simple negation of the material existence will not work. Like we cannot use our electricity only with one wire. You can try that. You can try to light up your bulb or your electricity device, a charger phone, is only one wire. Take that blue one. You need the red one, which is positive one. You cannot use only negative one. What is the positive one? It means knowledge of the absolute Sri Krishna and engagement in devotional service. So we have to have detachment and knowledge to produce nice result, to produce light, to produce enlightenment, to realize Krishna. So that's why we study. So we have knowledge, and we also need detachment. Means to regulate our life in appropriate ways, so that we control our mind and senses, and ultimately engage ourselves in devotional service of the Lord. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Any reflections, questions, complaints, criticism? Please. Maybe our seniors want to add something? Was it interesting?
Yes.
Yes? Please read Bhagavad-Gita. And since many people speak English, so you can open up your web browser any time of the day and in the night and on the phone and open vedabase.io and all the Vedic knowledge is there, translated by Srila Prabhupada. You can find all the wonderful books in English, with Sanskrit, with word by word translation and purpose. Please do that. Okay? You can read Bhagavad Gita every day and be happy. Yes.
Can I ask one question?
Yes.
Thank you so much. How we can realize these things, what Krishna says in Bhagavad-Gita, that I'm silence and I'm this and that and that. How we can, okay, I'm silent, but how can I know that this is Krishna, this silence?
It's funny that you said about silence. Thank you so much. Wonderful question. Yeah, it's Krishna said that it's just we have to realize it's just the sparks of His glories, just little sparks, and realization of that, as it was in our conclusion of the lecture, you have to have proper lifestyle, means regulate the senses and your mind to follow the principles which represent in Krishna consciousness, which is starts with eating vegetarian food offered to Krishna, and refrain yourself from gambling and illicit sexual connections, and refrain from gambling. Doing that and chanting Hare Krishna Maha every day, you will advance rapidly. And you have to have knowledge to know what you're doing. Is it okay? And you realize you study Bhagavad Gita and you do what Krishna asks to do. You serve devotees, you show spiritual master, you will satisfy Krishna. He'll give you all the knowledge. Okay? Anything else? Everybody satisfied? Self-realized? We are not self-realized here, we're all students. We just have to study about Krishna and surrender to Krishna. And coming to temple, the purpose is to take this atmosphere, these principles to your house and make your home into temple. That's the whole idea. And to associate with like-minded persons, because doing good things, as yesterday our very good friend Mika was explaining, it's very difficult on your own. Like cleaning your house on your own is so difficult, it's not fun. But if you have a nice friend, you know, who is very jolly and happy and saying, hey, let's do it together, it's so much fun, let's do it. Then it's very joyful. So same spiritual life, doing alone is very tough. Very tough, but you have many people around, like-minded persons, very easy. You have some question?
Like, because we are living in this materialistic world, so how, and we can see the demonic activities happening. So how we can see Krishna? How we can, like, how Krishna is there in the demonic activities, like a person is.
Oh, demonic activities. Yeah, how Krishna is in demonic
How we can
activities?
see, like, this is like Krishna is, because he says he is in every field, so even activity on present. So how we can find Krishna in that?
Very nice question, thank you so much. Yeah, everything comes from Krishna. So, and usually people think that God must be good, so how he can allow that bad things happens in this world? Question been asked to Srila Prabhupada. They said if God is all good and great and he's the source of light, how that this material existence comes into being, which is dark and it's full of ignorance. And Srila Prabhupada gave an example: when you look with your face, with your eyes to the sky, to the sun, you see no shadows. But then you turn away from the Lord, from the sun, 180 degrees, you see the darkness. You produce a shadow. So in the same way, negation, like negative things in this world, means absence of light, absence of God, absence of spiritual qualities. So when we see that, we can understand, okay, this is opposite of what it should be, exact opposite. And to understand that it's not correct, and what we should do, we should increase Krishna consciousness, increase light, whereas the darkness. In this dark room, naturally wants to put lights on. So the same way, if we can do something about it, so we give people knowledge. Like that's why it's good to carry one of the small books of Krishna consciousness with you, and to meet people who are ignorant of their spiritual identity. You can just kindly share with them. Say, hey, I read the time book, you can read it. But there's some certain things we are maybe not in our powers and capacity to change right now. So we refrain from like going to places where people, for example, drinking, and everybody knows it's bad. So we just don't go there. But if you have a friend who has troubles with that, we can help him. So we can see how much is our circle of influence, how much we can help, and in that circle we can change the situation. And when it's like dark and difficult and ignorant, bad, we can still do our part, do our best. That's why we should pray, because we are very small on our own and have network of devotees who supports us. Then it gives us protection, so we not ourselves will fall in a bad influence and doing some nonsense activities, which makes no sense, but we will be safe. And we'll also be more powerful to help others and to bring light there where is darkness. Does that answer your question?
Prabhu,
Yes, please.
I want to discuss something with Prabhuji. When you are asking about the silence, I mean, what do you mean by silence? Like you shut your mouth?
Yeah.
Or because there is two things. If you shut your mouth and there is your mind, which one is like speaking, looking, or going everywhere? So which one you mean?
Good question.
So Krishna actually discussed how to control.
Ultimately, maybe I thought that what did you say that when mind is silent, mind is silent. Okay, we are silent. We don't speak, but of course our mind should be also silent.
Yeah, that's the thing I'm asking. That are you asking like we just shut your mouth, or it's inside? We also like thinking everything. That means it's not silent. We are not silent. So our mind is working. We're just going there and here and there. You know, it could be go anywhere. So that's the thing I'm asking. So Krishna said in Bhagavad-Gita. I'm sorry, I'm like discussing just maybe I'm wrong or I don't know. You can, but as in Bhagavad-Gita, Bhagavan said that how to get silent. So if you take the path, how to take like get silent, so you have to believe it. The way Krishna said that if you do yoga, the way he said to Bhagavad-Gita. So we do like this, and then if you get peace, so then you get the feeling, okay, Krishna said like that, and I did it, and I get peace on my mind. As in my personal opinion, maybe I also discuss something about you. But actually, it goes like that. When I did it, and I get the result. When I got the result, then I have to believe, oh, there is Krishna, and he said it like this in Bhagavad-Gita, that you get, because my mind was still, everyone's, I know, our mind is so, it goes everywhere, so I couldn't like control my mind. And when I started with Bhagavad-Gita and how Krishna said, I tried. And I got so relief from it, and I get calm because I was able to stay at home alone because my mind, whenever I stay at home alone, so my mind goes always, thinking negative things and love. And then I started the Gita, and then how like Krishna said how to get calm, and then I tried and I get the result. So from it. I have the faith. No? Maybe I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Thank you so much. We are about to end our class. Thank you for sharing that. There's two types of silence. Sripad described one silence that you really take a Mauna Vrata, no sound. But in Krishna consciousness we practice also silence, means we don't speak nonsense. So mundane topics like politics, and gossip, and speaking bad things about others, you don't indulge in that, you're silent. So the benefit of Mauna Vrata, if you speak about spiritual topics and you speak on the subject which is related, for example, to practical things, what you have to do in the work, like that, to get things done, but you don't speak unnecessarily. So you're silent also that, and it will help your mind a lot, because these things contaminate us. When especially take this negative energy of finding faults, when thinking of world politics and how like everything is corrupted, all these things. We can do our part, our best in our role that we do in our dharma. So that's why we should learn it every day and practice silence in this sense. And the mind become pacified when the more we become spiritualized, when we indulge in devotional activities, devotional service to the Lord, the more mind becomes more peaceful. Because it's becoming its natural condition. The natural condition of the mind is peaceful and joyful, full of knowledge and bliss. This is our position of our soul. That's what Krishna teaches us. And thank you so much. Have a wonderful continuation of devotional service. Please come again and practice Krishna consciousness at home. Please chant at least one time every day. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Govinda Ki.